like to start off by thanking the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association for allowing me this honor, along with my players the young ladies that I've had the pleasure of coaching for the past 20-some years. My path to here is totally different than the rest of you. I was a terrible basketball player in high school. I played basketball to get me from football to track. I was a good track runner. I ran track at Northwest Missouri State University. I didn't like basketball. I just played it. I went to college, majored in agriculture. After my first semester, my track coach, Dick Flanagan, grabbed me and said, "Do you know what your GPA is?" I had a good time. I said, "No, Coach, what? 0.8. I said, "Oh." He said, "You are no longer an ag major. You are going to physical education. You're going to minor in driver's education. We're going to get you through this damn school. Or I'm going to kill you, one or the other." So I finally graduated. Right before graduation, had to do my student teaching. Went back to Princeton, my hometown, where I still live. We own a farm there. And 3 days before I started student teaching, the coach I was supposed to student teach under, packed his bags and left. Just left school. Well, I started student teaching without anybody to supervise me. The principal took me in and said, "This is Mr. Goodin. He's your PE teacher. Pay attention to what he's got to say." And left. So I student taught at Princeton, did my 8 weeks there. State track meet comes around. I'm at state track meet helping Coach King. That night at the motel, we get a phone call from the school board, and the principal asked me, he says, "Would you want to coach girls basketball next year?" Well, I really wanted to go farm, but I guess I will. And so I coached my first year. My contract was junior high football, assistant varsity football, which is a volunteer position, varsity girls basketball, junior high girls basketball, JV girls basketball, elementary girls basketball, varsity girls track, junior high girls track, and elementary track for $10,800. Now you guys know what I'm talking about there. So I started coaching basketball. Didn't like it, didn't like girls sports, didn't know a thing about basketball. So that summer I thought I better learn something. So I go back to Maryville, go to the library at Northwest, and I go in and I ask them for some books on coaching basketball. So they take me back to the section. I sit down, spent the day there, checked out 4 or 5 books, go back home, kept those books. Practice started in late October. My first day of practice, walk out there, hadn't met the girl, I knew the kids, but I had my books. I laid them on the stage. And one of the girls says, and I was their 4th coach in 4 years, so they'd been through a lot. And one of the girls, I'll never forget her, she said, "Oh my God, we've got another one." and so I opened these books up, I said, "We want to do this." And they came over and they looked at it and they said, "Oh, we can do that." So we did it, you know. And I was blessed to have 4 seniors that had started for 3 years. And Princeton had never had a winning basketball season ever. That first year we were 12-12. You know, we set the world on fire. The next year we really shook the earth because our gym walls moved, collapsed. We didn't have a gym. We played all our games on the road. We practiced in a barn that a farmer had. It was a 40 by 60 metal barn, concrete floor. We stuck some baskets up in it, no heat. It was off Highway 65. We would bus the kids down on 65 to the gravel road. They would get off with insulated boots, coveralls, hats, gloves. They would run to the barn. We would meet them there. We would practice. That was the conditioning. We would practice in this metal barn. We were 8-12 that year. I thought it was a hell of a good year, you know, 8-12. But Jim King, the guy I was talking about a little bit ago, was our boys coach. They were 24-5 and won the conference. And we played every single game on the road. Well, we had our gym back. A couple of years later, we are we're going to the state quarterfinals, and we were undefeated. And we was playing at Missouri Western, and we was playing against Claude Sampson at Northeast Nottoway. And Claude I think he's in the Hall of Fame with over 1,000 wins, if I'm not mistaken. And they were ranked #1 in the state. 15 minutes before the game starts, I'm a little nervous and I needed some me time. So the kids come out of the locker room, we take the court, I got to find a way to get outside and get some fresh air. Gym's filling up, you know, and I'm from Princeton and we're not used to crowds like this. I go outside and I stand against the wall there a little bit, kind of catch my breath and relaxing. Okay, time to go in and get this game going. Turn around. The door was a one-way door. It was exit only, not entrance. I had no idea where I was at. I was on the outside. I'm in a suit. I have to run all the way around, come in the line again, convince the people at the ticket takers that I was actually the coach, and they let me in, and we played the game and we beat them in overtime, and that was, I'll never forget that. You know, those memories are something you never want to forget about. I got to reflect back a little bit for in college, when I was talking about my college days running. Coach Flanagan was the athletic director also. I almost killed a guy one day, and in the same moment I saved his life, and I saved the city of Maryville, Missouri. I was late for track practice. I was running down to practice, opened the door of Lambton Gym, ran in, hit this gentleman. There's some concrete stairs. He starts to fall. I grab him and pull him back up. I turn around. There's my coach, Flanagan, also the president of the university. I said, "I'm sorry, you okay?" And he says, "Yes." And I run on down the stairs, and I go in the locker room, and I'm getting dressed for track practice, and I'm out there stretching. A little bit later, Coach Flanagan comes down. This is the same year after my .8 GPA, you know what's going on. He grabs me, and he says, "You idiot, do you know what you just did?" I said, "No." He says, "Los Angeles, California would have obliterated Maryville, Missouri had you killed that guy." I said, "Sorry, Coach." You know who that was? No, it was John Wood. Yeah, I almost killed John Wood. But I saved his life. Now, you know, that was a rough year. A few years later, I'm in St. Louis they used to have those medalist clinics at the Hilton Airport, and I'm sitting in the lounge that night with Lou Carnesecca, and I think it was Rick Majerus was one of the other ones, and they come up and sit with us coaches, and you know, we just enjoyed the fellowship and the visiting and talking basketball. I told that story to them, and they rolled laughing, the John Wooden story. But you know, looking back at it, you know, the reflections you have, the memories we all have as coaches and media people, the connection you have with the players and stuff, it's something that you would never give up. You know, you never trade that for anything again. If I had to go back and do this all again, I'd start all over and, you know, try not to kill John Wooden, but I would be very proud to continue to coach, and the memories you have and the reflections and just the way the kids have treated me and stuff, the parents I had were awesome. I love Misha. Every year has a reflection, the 20-year reflections, and we've been to 2 of those, and it's just, you know, those memories and that bond that you get with those kids over the course of our coaching careers are something that we will never forget, you know, and those kids will never forget, because we know stories and things about kids that their parents sure don't know, and they share things with you, and it's just a memorable thing, and this is kind of an accumulation of all of it. And on behalf of my kids, and I would like to, you know, thank you again for this opportunity to be here, and I would like to thank Rick Lynn from Gallatin. He's a coach. He's also in the Hall of Fame here, for nominating me. I would like to thank Preston Cole, our newspaper editor from the Post-Telegraph, for compiling all my stats and keeping track of all that stuff, because I never really paid much attention to it. And you know, I think this is one of the greatest organizations and one of the greatest sports that there is, and what it teaches young people, and as far as the reflections that we have. And once again, I thank you very much. Thank you.